Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
So you found parking too, Miss?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was here early.
Okay. They must be warming their coffee up inside.
Yeah, because I'm like, it never took this long.
Yeah, they're supposed to be on.
Yeah, it's never taken this long.
Probably any second to pop over 105. Yeah, they never come. It's coming.
Okay.
You need some air conditioning here.
It actually feels good in here.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So you can see he looks shook. You know, he's real shocked.
Yeah, you can see it in his face. Like he's like, "Who? What happens now?" It's almost like he doesn't know what to say.
All they gotta do is stop fighting. That's what that stops everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but nobody's thought process is there. Like, stop fighting. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Welcome to Millennium News 24 Power Talk Show. And I'm your host, Eric Stevenson. Welcome back to a nice, exciting, powerful show, as I believe it will be, mainly because I have two great women in the studio with me. So welcome, listeners. I have Miss Shantae Evans. She's an entrepreneur. We're going to talk about her new line of fragrances that's like blasting out the water across the country. And I mean, it's putting Creed and everything else to a shame. We're going to talk about that. And of course, I don't want to forget about our service to women. We have Missy Williams. She's also an entrepreneur and a lecturer and a cancer survivor. And we want to be able to give and share some information to women about breast cancer and to let them know that they're not alone. They shouldn't fear. But you just have to have the right information. Some are doing chemotherapy and it's causing hair loss, all those things. I know women love their hair and when it's gone, they go crazy. But guess what? It gets better. You get it back and you become more beautiful. So don't worry. So anyway, welcome, Miss Williams, Missy, and Shantae.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
So I know world news is going on. There's so much things happening as the news channels are popping up across the world about this war and this new conflict with Israel and Iran. We're just hoping that a resolution is quickly adhered to and there's be a peace resolution immediately. We don't need any more escalation. Enough killings went on, and it's still going on in Gaza. We would love to still see a ceasefire and a stop to that. We don't need any escalation. So we hope our American president sticks to his words and his guns and stand up to making sure there's no more escalation to this conflict. We don't need it. No one in the world's needed. So let's put a stop to it. So welcome, Miss Missy. We'll start with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know you're a cancer survivor, and as we talked about, many of the people who are suffering from cancer out there, I'm gonna let you go into a little history about your background and how it all started and happened with you. We'll take it further.
Okay. I was diagnosed in 2016 with it's called ductal carcinoma, which is called DCIS. I was diagnosed with stage 2 and stage 0. Cancer is a very, very scary word. It has no age limits. It actually originated 3000 BC in Egypt, actually. My story is that I had no symptoms, because sometimes there are no symptoms. A regular mammogram, and it went from there. 4 operations. Hair loss wasn't my thing because my hair was already shaved before I even got sick. It's a deadly disease. I'm cancer free. I had both breasts removed, and it's a deadly disease. Cancer actually comes from a cell. It's a gene. It's a mutated gene that some of us are born with it and some of us are not born with it. It can be hereditary as well. And what happens is the cells, they clump together is what happens, and they become tumors. And sometimes if the cancer cell breaks away, it breaks free, the body can keep going and form new cancers and new tumors as well. We have so many different types of cancers that are out here, and it's not spoken enough. The cancer cells are like abnormal cells, is what they are. Chemotherapy is just it's an anti-medicine that's used actually to treat the cancer. And you can also take chemotherapy by a pill form as well. Mm-hmm. Chemo, it's given, it depends on your cancer, where your cancer is. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they put the port in your arm. They could do it that way. Or you take the pill, or sometimes it's just required radiation. Like, again, I had stage 2 and stage 0, and radiation is just a therapy that, that it's like an X-ray is what it's like. And for the most part, it destroys and damages the cancer cells. With both radiation and chemo, there can be some side effects. And as Eric spoke, some women, the first thing they say is, I'm losing my hair. I'm going to lose my hair.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Not referring to you, but
right. I'm losing my hair.
Some women I've heard said, "Oh my goodness, I'm losing my hair," and that's the first thing he was worrying about. I was like, "Well, you can worry about the hair later.
The hair will come back.
Right now,
you know what I'm saying?
Over the cancer.
It's because of the chemo. Myself, I had 4 weeks of radiation, and I'm on the chemo pill. I've been on the chemo pill now for 5 years. And I'm on it again for another 5 years. And that's just to make sure I don't have any cancer cells in my body whatsoever. I actually go every 3 to 6 months to have my markers checked, which I'll have to do for the rest of my life, just to make sure there are no cancer cells. And that's where the BRCA test comes in. Now, the BRCA test is a test that actually they use for males who do get breast cancer. People don't talk.
Males get breast cancer too?
Males get breast cancer too, and they don't talk about it because the minute you say, "Oh, a male has cancer," they think about, "Oh,
prostate,
your prostate."
Whatever,
no. with the male,
Mhm.
the cancer starts, it's a tissue that develops in their DNA,
Mhm.
and the cell holds the instructions is what happens. Now, some of the, well, it's almost like a woman having breast cancer, like with the DCIS, that type of cancer is like the milk in the breast.
Mhm.
It could be a changing of the color um, with the male. But what happens is that the risk factors for that, it could be older age.
Mhm.
It could be, it's most diagnosed in men that
When
are
you
in their
say older
60s.
age, you mean
They're
it would
in their
age you?
60s.
It would age you?
In their 60s.
Oh,
That's
okay.
with the male. And they get treated just like we do. Radiation, chemo.
Mhm.
It's also, it could be family history of breast cancer. It could be DNA changes, obesity. It's a lot of things. And if breast cancer runs in your family, there's a possibility. And that's because the male has the BRCA1 and the BRCA2 gene.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Is there a natural alternative to chemotherapy that works or is proven to work?
The chemo and the radiation actually works.
Mm.
When you combine them together, even with the radiation, and like I said, with the symptoms of the males with the breast cancer, you could feel like there's a lump or a lump in the armpit, or it could be nipple pain. That's the first sign for a male that he could have
So when a
breast
person
cancer.
takes the chemotherapy
Mhm.
at a session of taking it,
Yes.
do they usually feel sick afterwards?
Yes.
For how long?
It'll last about an hour.
Or just an hour?
Yeah, some people get sick.
Mhm.
They, get sick on the stomach, and some people don't.
So it interferes with your appetite.
It interferes with your appetite. It takes all your energy, which is
Wow.
called cancer fatigue,
Mm.
which I had that. You could be up, moving
So
around.
how do you get over that? Or
That
what
has
could
to
you
go
do
away.
to combat it?
It has to go away by itself. Naturally.
So there's nothing you could do?
No, because I suffered with it.
Okay.
And I even went back to work, and they put a bed in the nurse's office because at any moment I could be so tired I have to sleep it off and then come right back.
Mm.
So that's something that has to go away by itself. But that's that's something else that you get after going through the cancer. Cancer does spread. It spreads, but again, it depends. In my case, mine was contained, stage 2. So they were able to get it. On my other side was stage 0, which the doctors did not see at first. And I had 4 MRI biopsies, which are a little bit more painful.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't see it till my first day of surgery. Another doctor took a look at my case, and he said she has cancer on the other side. They had to stick a wire. Mm-hmm. I went through it. They had to stick a wire down in my breast in order for the doctor to see it.
Wow. We're going to take a break and
Sure.
get right back to that. We'll be right back. Hold your seat. Thank you. Hello, viewers in America and across the world. This is Eric Stevenson, host of the Power Talk show on Millennium News 24. Tune in every week at Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, American Time, and also on all of your iOS and Android devices. Also on Smart TV and Apple, Amazon, and worldwide through Verizon Satellite. And also worldwide through www.millenniumtvnews.com. And that's www.millenniumnews24.com. And through our social media, Millennium News. See you there. Welcome back to Power Talk with your host, Eric Stevenson. So, Missy, we want to just continue on and let you continue from that point about them sticking the wire down in your...
Yes, they actually had to stick a wire down in my breast, which I was wide awake for that, in order for the doctor to locate the cancer because it was hidden. Mm. It took 2 surgeries in order for them to get the cancer, but they finally just removed the breast.
Did the wire have a camera on it, or
it had a camera on it?
So they could see inside.
So they can see inside, because sometimes what happens is it hides. It hides and you don't see it, and then by the time you do see it, it could be too late. So going back to the male breast cancer, though, their treatments is either surgery. It could be chemotherapy. It could be radiation, and it could be a hormonal therapy, which could be a pill. Probably 2,700 males a year might be diagnosed with male breast cancer.
Mm.
It's not often,
Mhm.
but it does happen.
They don't talk much about
They
that.
don't
you
talk
know?
about it. It's like children's cancer.
Mm.
Children's cancer can be any type of cancer.
Mhm.
But they do have side effects after it. I mean, their survival rate is high, but there could be some repercussions after that. They could suffer some physical damage or some mental damage. Like with children, it's different. There's no particular cancer that you can really say about children except for like leukemia is one of the cancers of children's cancer.
Yeah.
Tumors is one for the children. Also, the services that are out there as well. You have so many different types of services, like the American Cancer Society.
What would they do? Yeah.
They do more than just a place where you can go to have, group conversations, because everybody handles cancer different. They will pay your bills. They will, provide shelter for you. They will buy food for you. They will provide transportation for you. Some women, when they lose their hair, they have a problem with their hair growing back, so they'll wear a wig. They will provide wigs for you for the wig bank. So, they do a lot of things. And
that's American
Cancer Society. It's more than just going there to have a conversation about how I'm dealing with cancer. So they actually provide services for you. They provide lots of services that they don't talk about that as well.
What other agencies would
just the American Cancer Society is one of the biggest agencies.
Yeah, I always hear about
it. Yeah, so and they do a lot of great things. And the different types of cancers. It's not just breast cancer, prostate. You have bladder cancer, you have liver cancer, kidney cancer, bone tumors. It's so many different types of cancers, and the treatments are so different. But myself, how I got through it was I just said to myself, I'm not going to become the sickness. You tell yourself you're sick, you become the sickness. I walked around like nothing was wrong.
So it's a mind over matter.
It's a mind over matter.
Okay.
It worked for me.
Okay.
So I said, no, I'm not going out like this. I stayed home. I went to work when I shouldn't have been at work. I had a visiting nurse, and I just could not stay home because I'm that type of person. I need to keep moving. And a lot of people did not know I was sick, but what I didn't want people around me with the pity act. Oh, I feel so sorry for you. You need the people around you that's going to uplift you to get you through it. So and even when I went for radiation, I would come out and I would be dancing and singing and talking to the people that are sitting there like, she's so happy. I'm like, listen, it's not the end of the world. If you tell yourself that, there's depression and
that probably works against you.
Yes, it does. It does. Psychologically, it does. I think the only problem I really had is when I had to keep having surgeries. The one time it got to me, like, okay, I'm tired of getting cut on. I'm tired of going to the hospital. But I knew I had to do what I had to do because I said I wasn't going out like that. So,
God was with you.
He was with me. And I said, whatever you need me to do, that's what I'm going to do. And I did that. I came through it. And anybody, like I said, everybody handles that different. Anybody can come through it. You have to keep yourself positive. You have to tell yourself it's not the end of the world. The doctor might tell you got 1 to 2 weeks to live, but God has the final say so. I always say that. Yeah. I say, you give it to him and just trust in him, and he'll bring you through.
There's many people who were told that in the past who lived and still living 20 years later.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Sometimes it's a bad judgment call, but like you say, God has the upper hand.
God has the upper hand. He has the final say so. But again, like I said,
but you got to think positive. Like you
have to think positive, because when I was first told, I had a moment, because your first instinct is
natural depression.
You're like, am I dying? Yeah. Because they can't tell you. They can tell you, oh, we see the cancer, and then it's a process. You have to go. And you see the cancer doctor, and then they'll tell you, oh, okay, we have to go in and do our own biopsy, which is an MRI biopsy, which is painful. And you go through that, and then they can tell you exactly where it is, what stage you're in, if it's contained, if it's not moving. And, it's just a process. Yeah. And also, too, it depends on the oncologist that you have, too, because I have great oncologists. I mean, very well, that always walked me through whatever was going on. When I had to have surgery, I was there so much. I would just walk in and they just tell me, okay, go ahead. You know, find your bed, find your locker. We became a family. So, I tell anybody, if you're dealing with any type of cancer, especially women, there's places, there's people you can go talk to. You can even reach out to me because I've been there and I've done that. And like I said,
since you said it, you might as well give your number out.
Everybody's different. I mean, on my IG, my IG is strength with the number 4 survivors. And also on my TikTok, it's strength, number 4 inspiration. And on Facebook, I'm Missy Sample. Reach out to me. I'm here, because I know what it's like.
So what would you say to a person who's like freshly exposed and knowing that they have breast cancer now? What would be the steps you would encourage them to take, and what would be the words of hope you would give them?
I would first off say, listen, you don't have to go through this alone. And I want you to get out of the mindset that you're dying. I want you to keep a positive attitude, and I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to walk with you through this because that's what I do. I'm also a chaplain. So, that's my thing, but that's what I would tell them. I would encourage them and to have people around them, because I didn't tell a lot of family members. But when they did find out, they were very upset. I said, because you see how you're reacting? That's what I don't need. I need you to say, come on, girl, you got this, not all this. And that's what actually got me through it, because you would have never guessed that I was sick. And I went on every day.
So that's the power of the mind.
The power of the mind and the Most High. And the Most High.
Oh, definitely.
So know that you're not alone when you're going through this. There, you can reach out to me, like I said. And then there's places that you can also, American Cancer Society is fabulous. They really don't talk about it a lot, but they should, because they do more than just having group sessions. They do a lot.
That's a great thing.
They do a lot.
And like you say, having positive people around you, because sometimes negative people could contribute to your thinking,
right?
And they could be, oh, you're not going to live, or it's going to kill you. But, that's negative contribution for you to be hearing such a thing, instead of the hope of, oh, you're going to make it, or you're going to be fine, or you're going to be great.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
People around you makes a difference.
And that makes a difference. And that, puts you in the mindset where you can say, okay, I can do this. I know I can get past this.
Well, you did it.
I did it.
That's why you're here today.
I'm living proof.
So those who don't have hope, that's why you're here. I should call you Hope Missy. Missy Hope, but here it is, the proof. That's why we have you here today, to show that this is an example of hope.
One of the, I have a friend right now who was just diagnosed with bone cancer, and they told him he has maybe 1 to 5 years to live, and he's young. And I said, God has the final say so. That's what the doctors say. I've seen doctors tell a lady that had stage 4 cancer that was moving all over her body and told her, you have 6 months to live. 8 years later, she's still here.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's many stories like that.
Yeah. Okay. She's still here. Oh, yeah.
And then sometime afterwards is how we handle and take care of our body.
Yes.
Proper nutrients, proper minerals, vitamins, all of these things help after.
That plays a part in it as well. You watch what you eat.
You're dieting and stuff.
You're dieting, try to stay with green vegetables, fresh vegetables. Not so much on the carbs, but you stay away from rice and things like that, because your body's never the same after that. Your body goes through so many different challenges that just like, okay, I know you want that burger over there and that Philly cheesesteak, but that's not healthy for you. Because that also, what are the chances of your cancer coming back? It depends. But exercise and diet and watch what you eat.
So all of that helps. Right?
All of that helps because that's what I do. It helps. It really helps. It really helps.
Well, you're a living example. You should,
I'm
continue on. At least you have the your social media sites, and you're doing a service to help those who may be experiencing this problem or needs help or needs assistance or someone to walk them through it, which is a God work.
Yes.
So that's why He's blessed you and continue to bless you to do your work. But like I said, the American Cancer Society is very important for people
Yes.
to tap into those resources, because besides just group settings, I didn't even know they did help them with other things, resources, and
Mhm.
help pay bills. Some people are really in jam from the bills. It gets very costly doing all the chemo and all of these things, especially if you don't have insurance. It's another nightmare.
Yes, that's another
You know,
nightmare.
so it's a disparity between always rich and poor. So the rich could get the best treatment, et cetera, et cetera. The poor always has to go through tribulations and not get the best of care. But these things will help you be able to be successful.
Yes, and again, reach out to me on my social media sites. I'm here to help. I'm here.
Yeah. So, and you're saying this gene is in everyone. We're born with this gene, right?
Most of us are born with this gene, not all of us, but some of us are.
So it's dormant in us.
It's dormant in us
Yeah.
when we're born.
Mhm.
Again, it could be from the family.
Mhm.
So, like I said, with the BRCA gene is BRCA1 and BRCA2 gene, and it's a mutated gene. And so what happens with that is they, and a lot of oncologists, they don't really talk about it, the BRCA gene, because they swipe your mouth like a DNA.
Mhm.
So that's able to tell you in the future whether your body is open to any other types of cancers, or does cancer run in your family. On my dad's side, they all had cancer. What type of cancer, I really couldn't tell you. And I always had that fear that, maybe one day I might end up with cancer.
And they say we get rid of eating a lot of processed foods.
Yeah, a lot
too,
of processed foods is not good.
Yeah.
They say, the saying, they say, oh, well, it comes from smoking, which is not true.
Yeah.
Smoking might contribute to it,
Mhm.
but it's something most of us are born with. It's just a matter of that gene being activated.
Wow.
And that's a lot of
So let's
things they
stay
don't tell
healthy
you.
so we don't have to activate those genes.
Exactly.
Let's do the right thing. But we're going to take a break and get right back, and we're going to talk about a new line of some of the greatest fragrance being created, and it's on its way. It's out, not on its way out, but it's out.
Okay.
So stay tuned. Hello, viewers in America and across the world. This is Eric Stevenson, host of the Power Talk show on Millennium News 24. Tune in every week at Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, American Time, and also on all of your iOS and Android devices. Also, all smart TV and Apple, Amazon, and worldwide through Verizon Satellite. And also worldwide through www.millenniumtvnews.com. And that's www.millenniumnews24.com. And through our social media, Millennium News. See you then. Hi, I'm Eric Stevenson, your host here at Power Talk. We're back, and we're hoping that you digest this great information for those who's experiencing cancer or may have experienced, or if you know someone who's experiencing it. Missy just shared some great information and a great resource, the American Cancer Society, to reach out to. And you can reach out to her as well, a living proof of hope. So there's hope, and we want to keep it alive, and that's why we're sharing this. And, we want, whether you have cancer or not, we want you to smell good. And that's why we have Miss Shante Evans here with us today, because every time I go into Macy's or Nordstrom or one of these stores, sometimes I just walk through, and I always go, even if I'm not buying, I just want to see, I always go to the fragrance counter to see what's new for men and women, just to check out fragrances, because I have a business where I do, at time to time, have fragrance and I sell as well. So I check out the latest things, Creed, Bond Number 9, all these things at $500, Clive Kristen, $700 a bottle, and I smell it, and I'm like, okay, some of it smells good. I would spray it on, but then when I would walk out the store, and within like maybe an hour later, I don't smell it anymore. I said, so I would have paid $700 for a fragrance that lasts 1 hour on my body. I said, no, that's not good for me. I'd rather take my $700 to go to a Caribbean vacation. But I would take what Miss Chantel has with me, because she has a new fragrance that she manufactures in her own company. And I wanted to bring her on because this is something for women as well. As we talked about breast cancer, a way to think about going into being an entrepreneur as a way of survival. And you never know your greatness until you try. She has come and produced her own fragrance. It's of high quality. I mean, it's amazing. I tried it and I did the same thing. I gave it a Nordstrom test. I smelled it, and you know what? Several hours later, it was still on me. So I saw her back again, and I purchased my own bottle because I said it was worth it. And guess what? It didn't cost me as much as Clive Christian. So a new thing's on the line. So why don't you explain to them, the viewers, about your business here and your new fragrance?
Okay, my name is Shantae. I am an entrepreneur, as he mentioned. But before we get into the cologne, I want to just say how I started. So before I even had Lachey Lenore, that's the name of my brand, I had Ready, Set, Go, Children Only Fitness, which was my children's business that I had. I had it for about 5 years at the time. And then when COVID came, I had to shut it down because children's services wasn't really needed at that time because I had an after school program. So I kind of closed that down at the moment. And once I got into, it was about March when COVID shut down with schools. Yes. Probably about months, like 2 months was going by. And I was like, okay, I don't think school was going to be open again. So I kind of had to brainstorm and figure out what I was going to do next, because I felt like COVID was not going to be something that was just going to be a recovery that was instant.
That's true.
It was something that I felt like was going to be for a long time. So I had to brainstorm, and I started brainstorming, and I said, what's something that I can do? And I came up, I was on the phone one day with my best friend, and I had a conversation with her, and something just clicked to me. And I said, okay, I'm going to start a cologne line. One of the hardest things I've ever done, I have to admit, you become a chemist. You have to go in and you have to, get all these scents and these oils and these essential oils, and you have to put them together. And it's the hardest thing. And it's hard because, one, you're getting these oils together. You're trying to, first you have to match scents. They have to match. You have, your middle notes, your top notes, and the base notes. Yeah. You have these notes. They all have to go together. It has to smell good. And then your biggest challenge is you have to make something that's going to stay. Yeah. So I had to do that, and I done ran through so much ingredients trying to do this. Then you have to make sure that it's masculine, because I'm doing a cologne. So all of those things were like a challenge for me. So I started that process probably about October 2020. And I didn't start until, I didn't drop the line until December of 2021. So it was something that, like I said, it was challenging for me. But once I dropped it, you come out with your first fragrance. It's all right. It's not something that you're like, okay, you feel it at the moment, it's good. But as you become, better with this, your scents become better, and now you're like, okay, the first one was, you thought it was good at the time. But then when you come out with something that's better and stronger, you're like, okay, this one is better, So now at this current time, I'm 2 years in. I have 4 scents, fragrances out at this time. My first one that I have is Ruthless. Second one is Lucky 6. I also have Chris and Mo, and I have King Me. These are all my scents. And Black Rose. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting Black Rose.
So 5 scents.
Yes, I have these 5 scents. Lucky 6, I had to pull it because, when making fragrances, a lot of people probably don't know this, but when you make fragrances, you have to allow it to age. And sometimes when you allow it to age, the scent that you smell the first time you made it, it changes. Yeah. So sometimes it can either get better or it can get worse. Yeah. So sometimes you have to kind of discontinue it, or either go back in and see what you can do, make changes to it, take an ingredient out, put less of something in. So it's all, like I said, you become a chemist. Got to get your gloves. You got to get your coffee beans. These are things that you need for the, the process, besides the oils, because listen, you're going to be smelling and your nose is going to be really going through it, So that's just one of the, like I said, the 5 scents that I have out now. One of them are unisex. The Chris and Mo that I just mentioned is unisex. So I like to keep stuff in the family. That's so Lachey Lenore. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Lachey Lenore is my niece's name. Her middle name is Lachey.
Okay.
So, and Lenore is, I knew I needed another L name to go with my niece's name. I was not taking it to do any other letter. I said it has to be L and another L. And I call her my godmother. She passed away recently from cancer.
Oh, wow.
And her middle name was Lenore. And I was at the church at the time during her funeral, and I looked and I said, there you go. That's the name. It's Lachey Lenore. So it's two middle names that I decided to put together. You know, my cologne, because my first cologne was really Black Rose. One of my colognes named Ruthless, I actually named that because my mom's name is Ruth. So I kind of keep everything together. Right. So Chris and Mo, my oldest brother, which is my mother's first child, my parents' first child, and my parents' last child is Chris. That's my oldest brother, and then my sister, her name is Monique. So I put it together,
So
which is the
unisex.
Mo, okay.
So it's, you know, Chris and Mo. And then Lucky Six is because it's 6 of us. So my parents had 6 of us. You know, Black Rose, I honestly, that was my first one. I did a survey with my family one day, and I said, you know what? I want something that generates greatness, right? And I want people to know that I'm a Black business owner. So how do I do that? And I just said, it has to have Black in it. So we're going to do a survey, pick from this list which one you think is the best. And my family picked Black Rose.
Okay.
Yes.
And actually, Black Rose is is actually oil from from Turkey. They're the only country that actually grows a Black Rose, and they make a fragrance. It's a very great fragrance.
Okay.
I was thinking that's what you was naming it after that, but now I know what you're naming it after. But it's a very great fragrance too. But that's a great thing. So it's a family inspired for the names, and it's good how you did it. And so how did you come up with, I mean, you had to learn to be a chemist. So how did you come to concluding that this smells good to you to put out?
So I
did you have other people smell it and test it?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I have an ambassador, Thomas. He's amazing. What I do is I will make sense and I will go through it and I will package it and I'll say, okay, at the moment, because what I usually do is make the sense. Then I will take a Q-tip and I will dip it in there. I will let it sit for 2 minutes and then I will smell it. And I'm like, okay, this one is it. I think this one smells good. All right. Then I will package all the ones that I thought smelled good. Then I will say to him, okay, yeah, smell this and tell me what you think, along with my family, because my family's opinion mattered more than anything, to be honest with you. So I would always give my family, I'd be like, what do you think of this one? And they'll be like, oh, yay or nay. You know,
did they sometime agree with one another?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I want to share a story. So about Ruthless. Ruthless came out by chance because a lot of the times I would make certain fragrances and I'll say, okay, I'm going to allow this fragrance to be a limited edition. Meaning I'm not going to come out with it. I'm just going to have it just for this moment. I'll, share it with you guys here. I had a limited edition that I sold to someone one day and he calls me back for it. I said, okay, one thing about me is I'm really organized. So everything that I did, I wrote down the ingredients, how much I put into it, things like that. So he called me back and he's like, I like this fragrance. I want to order it again. And I'm like, really? And I was like, okay, well, it's a limited edition, so I really don't have it. So you have to wait.
And that was which one? Ruthless.
That's Ruthless.
Okay.
So he said, I'm telling you, he said, come out with this one. I'm telling you, it's amazing. He said, just come out with it, see how it does, and, give it like about a month. And I came out with it on August 1st. And probably by like September 1st, I done sold like 30 bottles.
Oh, wow.
So I said, wow, okay, this one is really doing well. It's doing good. So long story short, Ruthless is the bestseller. It's doing numbers. Most of the people love it. And I'm just
Is that
grateful.
unisex or?
That one is not unisex, the Chris and Mo, but I do get sometimes with Ruthless, is it unisex? So it really all depends. On the individual,
right?
Some
women like men's cologne and vice versa.
Yes.
I see it all the time.
Yes. When I was younger, my mother used to wear men's cologne, and when I got in my 20s, I started wearing men's cologne. I was like, my favorite was Dolce & Gabbana light blue.
Well, that's
so I would wear that. I would wear that, and I said, you know what? I like this scent. I'm gonna wear it. I saw my mother wear cologne. I think it's okay for me to wear cologne, but as I got older, I stopped. perfumes.
You
that I love.
feminize it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it was just my preference at the time, So
now you have 4 fragrances because you dropped the 5. Well, you
Yeah.
dropped one, right?
I dropped one, but
Or
I'm
put
gonna
it
go
on
back
hold.
in.
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
go back in for sure.
Probably you need to go
Yes.
back to the drawing board and
Yes.
maybe do some things
Yes.
and spice it back
Yes.
up.
Mhm.
It probably started off good and probably just needs a little
Yes.
adjustment.
Absolutely.
Well, that's great. So how are you doing? What are you doing about the marketing of it? How is it being marketed?
The marketing is, I have to say, is the hardest part.
Right.
It's hard because
Is it word of mouth now, or is
it's
it
word of mouth,
or
but
is-
it's really hard to even get.
Are you on
people-
Instagram?
I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
So my
You
Instagram
on
is
TikTok?
no, I'm not on TikTok.
Gotta get on TikTok.
I
They're
have to get on TikTok.
doing good. For a lot of people, yeah, trust me.
I have to get on TikTok, but I'm only on Instagram. That's it. I have, my Instagram is Lachey_Lenore. You guys can follow me there for the latest updates. But I'm only on
How do they
Instagram.
order? How do they purchase?
So they can go to I'm on Etsy.
Oh, you
So,
on Etsy?
Okay.
Yes. So you
Okay.
can
Under what?
Lachey Lenore.
Lachey Lenore. Okay.
Mhm. I'm on Etsy. And or they
You
can
want to
just
spell out
contact me.
Lachey Lenore?
Yeah, so Lachey is LESHEA
Mhm.
and Lenore is LENORE.
And it's an underscore in between it,
Underscore
right? Okay.
between the two.
Okay.
Yes.
That's on Etsy.
That's on Etsy.
Oh,
You can
that's
do
a good
Etsy, and that's on it's on Instagram.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes. So you can go to both.
Okay.
Yes, but I do have to get a TikTok. I have
Yeah.
to get a Facebook. I have to get all that stuff.
We're going to come right back and take a short
Yeah.
break and be back in 1 minute. Stay tuned.
I do have to get that.
Hello, viewers in America and across the world. This is Eric Stevenson, host of the Power Talk show on Millennium News 24. Tune in every week at Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, American Time, and also on all of your iOS and Android devices. Also, all smart TV and Apple, Amazon, and worldwide through Verizon Satellite. And also worldwide through www.millenniumtvnews.com. And that's www.millenniumnews24.com. And through our social media, Millennium News. See you then. Mr. Viewers, welcome back to Power Talk. I'm your host, Eric Stevenson. It's great to hear about this exciting story that Shante was inspired to create her own business of fragrance in the time of COVID, where some people thought there was no hope. It wasn't going to be because it was hard to tell when things are going to get back up and running. I mean, how many businesses were shut down is just opening now. City government is still running partial out of people's homes and partially back in city government buildings. But I'm looking here at this great packaging of this perfume. And that's a good thing. It's not a toilet, it's a perfume. So meaning that it's more concentrated, stronger, and it stays on longer. So now you get your money's worth. So Lachey Lenore for men. And it's a great black box like this. It's packaged like, like those $1,000 colognes. And it's great. And let's see what the bottle looks like.
It's a 1 ounce bottle.
1 ounce. Wow, nice.
Yes, 1
wow,
ounce bottle. They're
looks like
$50
engraved.
a bottle, guys.
It's how much?
50.
Looks like it's like a
Beautiful.
smoke frosted bottle, well quality, not those thin ones. If you drop it, bust. It's good, and it's an engraved name of the fragrance on the bottle. So 1 ounce is good. So it's concentrated, so you don't have to use but 1 or 2, 3 sprays, and that's it. So that's a great packaging. How much is it?
It's $50.
$50.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. So all of the same?
All of the same. All of the same.
All
because
$50.
All $50. All of them.
And all is listed on your
Yes.
Instagram, right?
It's all listed on the Instagram. It's all listed on the website with Etsy. And if you guys want to order through myself, you can just call me. My phone number is 914-316-6281. Again, 914-316-6281.
Wow.
I usually do, people will call me, but I have to admit, like I said, the marketing is hard.
Right.
How do I market? people are gonna think I'm crazy. But how do I market? I go up to
Well,
strangers all day.
Well, Instagram is a form of marketing.
It is, but it doesn't really help too much. I have to admit, it's it's just it hasn't really helped. It's a lot of word of mouth, or me seeing someone on the street like, listen, here's my business card. I have a new I have my own cologne line for men. I have blotters. I go around, I spray them, see if you like it. If you're interested, I have the cologne bottles on me today. If you're interested another day, take the card, call me whenever you're ready. Yeah. And once they purchase, I tell them to spread the word, refer a friend.
Right.
Well, that'll be added to your success story once you blow into a multi-billion-dollar
That's right.
company. That would be another part of your success story that you would share, how you started the marketing and how you got it going. I mean, look at the different rap artists who started out the trunks of their cars and became famous, and other people, entertainers.
Yes.
So, it's about keeping hope alive, like she talked about with cancer patients, and like what you're doing with business. It's about believing in yourself and keeping hope alive, and thinking of other strategies. But I do know, the reason why I said TikTok is because they have this one perfume out that was on TikTok. I think it had like over 500,000 or more views. And all of the stores all around that sold it was all sold out because everyone was rushing just to get it. Whether it smelled good or not, they believed the advertisement.
Right.
But it's sold, and it's still people come and ask for it. So it's a great means of promotion for business marketing, and it doesn't cost you. Etsy is good to know that you're on Etsy, so people could just go in and type your name in and purchase right through Etsy, which is a good. I like Etsy too.
That's my favorite.
They're very
place.
reliable.
That's my favorite.
No,
place.
I love Etsy. They're very reliable. And they get everything you need there.
Yes.
And the prices are
reasonable.
The costs are very reasonable.
Yes.
You can find all that you need there.
Listen, I tell people I have a tangible product because I am not in Macy's or JCPenney's or all of these stores. I have to get my product out. And how do I do that is by allowing people to smell it at the time, because like I said, I'm not in these stores. No one's going to come up to me while I'm in Macy's and say, do you want to smell this? No, I actually have to go out there and allow people to smell my fragrance and see how it smells and go from there, because that's the only way I'm going to get my product out. So right now it's doing well. I would like to have different strategies of marketing to get it out there. But, until then, the word of mouth and, Instagram and, endorsements, any of those things that can help, it would be, amazing, because all it takes is one person to say, this smells good, as you just stated, Eric. They probably haven't even smelled the scent on TikTok, but they're going for it.
They're going for it.
Yes. So it's a good means too. And I smelled it because I purchased the bottle myself, and I didn't do it just to support you, even though I do support and want to support you. But if it doesn't smell good, it doesn't smell good.
Right.
I'm not going to wear it. To me personally, if it doesn't smell good to me, I'm not wearing it. But it smelled good to me.
Yes.
And I wear it. And I can tell you one thing. For $50,
it stays with you, huh?
It stays with you, and believe me, and it smells really good. Yes. I mean, comparing to like Creed cologne and all the stuff that they charge you $500. Believe me, this scent is up there with them, wait. And it might be outdoing many of them.
Right.
So whatever you put in there, whatever you mix when you was on vacation or through the COVID time. You had enough time to figure it out. You smelled a lot, and you came up with a really, 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 really good scent. And the thing I like is the longevity of it. If you put it on in the morning and you go out, you come back home, you still smell it on you. So that's what I like. Yes. Your money's worth, something that smells good and is of good quality.
Yes.
It's chemical free. It's not this stuff that you're getting with aerosol and all this other chemical sprays that irritates your skin and gets into your bloodstream, and it's no good for you. It's a great natural product, cologne. So I'm happy I can have you on my show to know that I was one that caught you at the beginning of your success to $1 billion fragrance company worldwide. I would know one day we'll reach France and we'll reach all these other places. And
I'm gonna say I know her.
So, and I know sooner or later you'll be getting 3 and 4 and 5 ounce bottles. And that's good. And you'll keep on making fragrances. So that's how it all starts. Starts with hope and with a good product. So I'm sure the listeners,
and support.
I know many wear colognes and like good colognes.
Mhm.
And guess what? It's not your 200 or 150, it's your $50.
$50.
And if you tried, I liked it, and I'm sure many of you would like it too. The only way to do it is to try it.
There it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Lay's potato chips. They said you can't eat just one. You buy it one time, it's going to go on and on. You know, so hey,
Right.
proof is in the pudding. Try it and you'll see. I tried it. I liked it, and I wouldn't promote it if I didn't like it. I would probably pick one of the other ones that I would like, but this is the one I like, and it's doing good. So we wish you much success,
Thank you.
and just keep your vision, stay on your vision,
Yes. Don't
and
give
keep
up.
hope alive, and know that God has the power to
Yes, he
say
does. Yes,
"kun
he
fire
does.
kun," to say success you get, success you have.
Yeah.
So anyone who wants to be haters or discouragers, let them go to the wayside,
Right.
because it's always like when you're going up, there's always energies that want to pull you down. But in this situation, you have a good fragrance. Just keep your eye on the prize, and you would rise. It's already rising. You're selling more and more bottles. And the more you get out there and the more people smell it, the more people are going to like it and buy it. And I don't know, we would have to probably go through her agents to try to get her to come back on that show. You know, I see if we can get the number. So we got her now. So we're gonna have a recorded show that we can always say, well, we had her when she started. You know, so that's good. So Power Talk, we always tell our listeners, we will always keep our shows exciting, variable in subjects and health and politics and government and war. We don't need to talk too much about the war. We just want peace and call for peace in the world.
Yes.
And some of our leaders, world leaders, need to be changed, because we got some real tyrants who's just creating a disturbance on our planet, and they're unrighteous. And but God doesn't sleep. He views all things at all times. And when he's ready to make his change, woe to those who want to be tyrants. You could keep on trying to create disturbance, but many of us who have our eyes open is going to stay on the track of righteousness, and you're not going to deter us from that. But it's not much time left for the tyrants on our planet to continue the destruction of our societies. God is aware. The history proves it. Sodom, Gomorrah, all these other times in history where God said, you know what, now I'm going to end this. So, we're going to keep the prayers going, but it's time that the tyrants will be out of power, and we will be replaced with righteous people. We will have a righteous society and planet. So with that, I'm going to let you say some last words, Miss Missy, and us closing out, and I'm going to let you say something.
I just want to say, whoever is going through cancer, like I said, there are services. And again, you can reach out to me. The key to getting through that is having a great support system around you. And your mindset has to be on a positive track to tell yourself, I'm going to beat this, even when the odds doesn't look good. And just keep the faith and get yourselves checked out, and be mindful how we take care of our bodies and what we put in our bodies. Just stay on a healthy tip, and just a great support system is what you really need.
Yes.
Yes, a great support system.
And
never give up. Always keep hope. Never give up. I'm living proof. I'm here.
Yes. So just let the viewers know one more time how they can reach you.
They can reach me on my Instagram. It's strength with the number 4 for survivors, and TikTok is strength 4 inspiration.
And they could also reach out to the American Cancer Society.
The American
I guess
Cancer
they could
Society.
Google any
You can
particular
Google it, and then
location on the site that they should look at.
No, they just Google it and it comes up. It'll give you an 800 number, and you call that number, and they offer so many services. So
you're not alone.
You're not alone.
And there's
in
hope.
this.
And there's hope. As you can see from this show, there's hope, because this is all about hope today.
That's right.
So there's hope for you. So don't give up. Know that you'll be well. They said whatever you send out in the universe is what comes back to you.
That's right.
So send out the good and the positive and healing for yourself, that's what returns to you. don't put out negative energy and thoughts into the universe, because you don't need that.
No.
So, Miss Perfume Cologne person of this famous line, close out to our viewers and whatever you like to say to them.
Listen, I just want everybody to know that entrepreneurship is not easy, but it's worth it. You know, stay encouraged. If anything that you're trying to do, stay encouraged. Stay on point. Write everything down. Write your goals down, things that you're trying to reach, and stay encouraged. I will always say that. So never give up. Never give up.
And how can people purchase this great
So
fragrance?
they can purchase this fragrance by calling me. So as I stated, my phone number is 914-316-6281. One more time, 914-316-6281. And you can follow me on Instagram, Lachey Lenore, Lachey _Lenore. So LESHEA _Lenore, LENORE.
Well, that's great. So here we have it. Cancer, ridden of it, smelling good, combine it, a good life for everyone. So we thank you for tuning in to Power Talk once again. It's a great thing. And I thank Missy because, not too many people come and talk about breast cancer. And many people always have a tendency sometimes to forget about women. And they have their needs and issues and need their support just as men need it. So we would always try to be here to provide what we can to help those who we can. So may God bless those who has cancer now and heal them all and remove the sicknesses from all their bodies and to put them back into the best of health and make those entrepreneurs like Shantae Hill successful, and encourage those to know that there's hope in creating your own business and being your own entrepreneur and have success, and stay on track and stay focused, and you'll be successful. Thank you for listening to Power Talk, and we'll tune in next week. And viewers and listeners, I always thank you. You're the best to me, and that's why I try to be the best to you. God bless.
Bless you.